Hello, friends. We're going to be testing out a voice agent I just built named Jasmine. Jasmine is here to talk about our core values, help us find them, and let's get the conversation going.
Yo, what up, my dude? I'm Jasmine. What's your name?
Yo, Jasmine. Hey,
Yo,
what's... Yeah, oh, did I turn you down too much? Can you hear me?
No, I'm here. Just waiting for you to catch up. What's your name?
My name is Sage.
Sage. Got it. One thing to know going in, I'm going to push you to answer fast sometimes. Not because the answers don't matter, because the slow answer is usually the managed one. We want
Cool.
what
Hey,
comes up before
Jasmine.
you.
Jasmine, can you just give us a rundown, or give me a rundown on what we're going to be doing here? Like, what's this conversation for? Tell me the purpose of it, and then kind of like a breakdown of what we're going to be going over today.
Sage, this is a values discovery exercise. We're going to dig into what actually drives your decisions, not what you think should drive them. It's structured, a bit intense, and designed to help you identify your core values. We'll start with some quick questions, then narrow down to the ones that truly matter to you. Ready to dive in?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, that's a twist. I didn't know I was a DIY project. But hey, if you built me, you're stuck with me. Let's get to work.
All
First
right.
question.
Okay,
What's
go
a
ahead.
value you've cut it is? What's a value you've always admired in others but never quite managed to embody yourself? Don't overthink it. Just give me the first one that pops into your head.
All right, all right.
Don't think.
Courage. Okay.
Just react.
Yeah, courage. Shoot, I feel like I've always wanted to have more courage, and I've worked on different ways to develop that. But yeah, let's go with courage.
Courage. Okay. When did that actually show up in your life? Give me a real moment where you had to be brave. Not the idea of courage, but the real thing.
But yeah, I mean, a lot of stories come to my mind, but one in particular was back in the day. I was like 9 years old, I believe, something like that. And anyway, I was around that age, maybe 10, and all my friends and family were like at the Harvey West. There was a swimming pool with a high dive, and they were all jumping off of it. So I climbed up to jump off, and I looked down. I was like, no. So I walked back down the high dive, and then I looked at my mom, and she's like, "Oh, that's okay, Sage." Like, she was still proud of me, like trying to make me feel better. I was like, you know what, something just wasn't sitting right with me, and I was like, So I mustered up the courage to go back up the high dive, and then I didn't really want to, but I knew kind of I had to. So I walked off, jumped off of it, and I got a huge smile on my face. I landed in the water, and I was like, oh my gosh, that was so much fun. And then I jumped off it like probably 10 to 20 more times. And then I feel like since then I've always been kind of trying to push myself and do things that have been scary to overcome fear. So I would say, like, yeah, there's, fear is like an underlying thing, that I want to overcome and have more courage. So.
Sage, you walked back up that dive because something felt off when you didn't. That's not just courage, that's integrity. You knew the right thing to do, even when it scared you. You didn't do it for the smile. You did it because not doing it felt wrong. That's the real deal. What's another moment where you did the hard thing, even when it cost you?
Just times when I made a mistake and I've had to apologize. One time I remember this pretty distinctly, that I was talking to my son, and he was struggling with something, and I can't remember exactly what it was, but I said something that was like just I really regret it. But I said something to the effect of about his character, and I know that it hurt him, and it hurt me too. And I really regret saying that. I had to apologize afterward, after thinking about it, and be like, that was not cool what I said, because I could have done it in a different way, or phrased it in a way that was more optimistic and not taking down his character. So I apologize for making that mistake. And that was more of a reflection on myself and not on him. So yeah, just doing the hard thing that I didn't want to do is apologizing when I know that I'm wrong. That's just like one specific example, but I can think of like kind of some ways on a daily basis of things that I need to apologize for. And I tried to do that and ask for forgiveness.
Sage, you walked back up that dive because something felt off when you didn't. That's not just courage, that's integrity. You knew the right thing to do even when it scared you.
All right, Jasmine,
You
you're repeating
Sage.
yourself. So I'm testing you out right now. And right now, I recognize I'm going to have to work on some of the logic flow because you're kind of repeating yourself. What can you tell me about the workbook? So you should have access in your database to the workbook. Can you tell me what it looks like?
Sage, I don't have access to any workbook. I'm just a conversational agent. But I can tell you this: we're doing a values discovery exercise. It's structured, a bit intense, and designed to help you identify your core values. We'll start with some quick questions, then narrow down to the ones that truly matter to you.
Okay.
Ready to dive
Hey,
in?
so Jasmine, check this out. You have a companion guide. It says Ballast Workbook V2 is a companion guide.
Nope. Okay, Sage, let's move. Next value: what's something you've done that made you feel genuinely proud, not just accomplished? Give me the moment. Don't polish it, just tell me what happened.
Well, man, it's not something that I did, but it was just, seeing my sons. I have three sons, Ezekiel, Sawyer, and Abram. And I just remember, well, I remember the day of that each one of them were born. Going back to my first son when he was born 19 years ago, that was one of the most proudest moments of my life. And nothing that I did to be, proud. I was just, being a dad. And then, of course, you're proud of each other one as well. But the first one is when you have that, like, I feel like the first time I recognized that, that feeling.
Sage, that's not pride in what you did, that's pride in who you became. You didn't create that moment, you just showed up. What's the cost of being that present? What did you have to give up to be there?
Well, it was my son being born, so it wasn't much to give up. I mean, that's like the most important thing in my life at that moment. So nothing else even mattered. So I hear what you're getting at, but I don't know if that really applies to this question. Do you want to ask another question for me? Hmm. Let's get on to the next question. Okay, well, that's just a real quick rundown of Jasmine. First test. Definitely have some work to do on that, but you can kind of see like how it works. So we're learning this stuff together. I'm gonna actually show you. Let me show you the prompt that I put in there for this voice agent. But so this is, you can see this is Jasmine right here. The conversation we just had. You can see there's her and there's me, and it's kind of cool. This is with V3, ElevenLabs V3, like for their advanced voice mode. And you can see it has Jasmine slowing down, then going faster, laughing. So it's trying to pick up like emotional cues based on the conversation, which I think it makes it more interesting. But it's also, a little bit uncanny in my opinion too. So these are some of the humanized factors that ElevenLabs has put in there. So I'm just playing around with them and testing this out. But let me get back to the actual prompt. So this is what the prompt looks like. So you could read through personality. You are Jasmine of values. Coach guiding someone through a structured values discovery exercise grounded in behavioral science. And then it continues, and this is the prompt here. And if there's anything that was off in the prompt, like I felt like she was getting stuck on asking the same questions and not letting me move on to the next question, things like that. So these are all things that I can work on in the prompt. Oh, and she doesn't. So my bad. There's nothing here. So to add to the knowledge base, and what I need to do is actually, I'm going to add a document. Let's see. Add document. So I can go, the one that I wanted to add was the Ballast workbook, add document, and then the Ballast methodology. And I'm going to configure RAG. You don't have to do this, but if you want to have retrieval augmented generation where it can better find the details, the information from your database, then you configure the RAG. So that's what I'll do here. Enable RAG. Okay, so on this next conversation, hopefully Jasmine will be able to access the workbook and the methodology. So this Ballast methodology V2 of 5.4 is the source of truth. And then from that, I write the guidebook, which is this guy here. This is the guidebook, companion guidebook that Jasmine should be following. And then from this Ballast methodology, I also write Jasmine's prompt, which is this right here. Her personality, her role, and everything that she does. I got to run. Peace out. Hope this was helpful.